Blaha, Take a Walk with Your Angels, EnjoyFlames.com, your angel co-parent in Colorado. Happy to greet you in this brand new year, 2019. Happy to you with all of this. I want to just touch with the message from Quantum for not just January of 2019, but rather encompass the whole of 2019 as well, along with a little review of 2018 to help us know where we're coming from and where we're going, right? So, wasn't 2018 a doozy of a year? By all accounts that I had run into, that was a year of challenges, right? Lots of in-your-face kind of you have to deal with this now. If you don't deal with this, you can be in a place of numbed outness or checked outness, or feeling like your day is just like punch a time clock, get home, go to bed, watch TV, eat, go back. And so a lot of people are describing that frustration of feeling like, I need to change this up. I have no clue maybe how, or even if I do have a clue, I'm super scared. So, because it meant what? Shuffling your whole life, kind of throwing the balls up in the air and deciding to see where they might just land. Now, you might have noticed in 2018, there was this common current that happened all around with your loved ones. Those in spirit even may have been chattering away to you about this, along with just your co-workers, people that you're doing business with. They might have all had a very common theme, even if the changes were involving a loved one, or differently a career, or differently a child, or a pet, or you name it, a move. Did you see a lot of people moving in the last couple of years? That was another big deal, right? All across the country, not just little tiny moves maybe across a city, but actually across a country. So what was happening in 2018 then? What did we all decide that we were going to do? Because this is what we're doing as a collective, is we take on these challenges to decide, you know what, let's move our community forward. Let's do something about this. We do not have to be victims. We don't have to be in a place of disempowerment. We don't have to be in a state of just get through it, just get by, well, it's okay, it's fine, all of that. You know, those phrases that you hear coming out of people's mouths, maybe yours too. And instead, we decided somehow through this whole collective consciousness that it was time to really get in there and decide what was governing our decisions, what was taking us out of our joy, what was finding us away from our peace, what were the things that we were giving that power to. And if you dug really deeply, you might have found, wow, at the end of the day, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe maybe in my career, I don't feel safe at my home, maybe I don't feel safe with my mate. I mean, a lot of relationships were coming into that uncreation point too, where it wasn't even being like a threatened abuse situation necessarily, or violence maybe. Maybe it was just, we're not in the same frequency anymore. I'm not in the same frequency with this position in this career or in this business. My mate and I are just not evolving maybe at the same speed, and it's okay. It's completely okay. So what happened out of that? A lot of people decided in 2018 it was going to have to change. It was not going to stay the same. Now, if you're not there yet, you're in your 2018 January here saying, yeah, but I still didn't make those changes. I still didn't let that transformation happen. Don't fret yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't get down on yourself, because that's the worst thing we can do to ourselves before a change, right? Before a transformation, is to sit and hack away at ourselves, because all that does is throw a bunch of counter-intentional energy into everything that you've created up until this point to clear the way for yourself, to unblock, to get those things, those lack and limitation messaging and that restriction, that resistance, that arrogant resistance, right? Because sometimes we can't even see it, out of the way. So again, if you're in 2019, what if your 2018 was just about addressing all these things, finally facing them and saying, you know what, I realize I am unhappy. I am not in a state of peace. I feel threatened in my life. I don't feel safe in my job, in my career, in my family. You know, because you can go back to that, where you start unraveling these pieces to say, what is the origination of me not feeling safe? Not this thing that just happened on the street today. It's just a projection of this rhythm or this pattern that I am really willing to uncreate. I don't want to have it anymore in my life. So 2018, if you can look back all of a sudden and say, oh my gosh, yeah, I had a ton of those things come flying up in my face, right? Well, it's because you were ready. We're all ready to dispel with these ideas that it's just the way it is, well, that's the reality, that language that said that transformation couldn't happen. Now, here's a little secret about transformation. People say, oh, it's so hard to change. You know what? Those in the quantum say it's not the change that's hard. It's all the resistance before it. That's so, and it feels hard. I mean, it feels dense. It feels thick and mucky and murky, right? But once you've made a decision, this has got to go. I'm letting this out of my life. You're going to find that that decision catapults you into this momentum of it is changing. It is a different life. It is a different story. I am waking up differently. I have a different perspective. My perception is completely altered, right? So it's, again, it's not the transformation or the change that's so hard. It's all the resistance and the blocks we throw up in front of it, that all those disbelief things that happen, you know, the areas of where we have held ourselves in, that can't possibly happen, I couldn't do that. Well, what if it doesn't happen? What if I can't really get there? Maybe I should just not try. Well, you've already thrown yourself into a detour state, because the trying aspect means you've already got not your whole body in it at all, maybe a toe. You're already talking yourself out of it. Okay, so 2019. Here we are rolling into January. What's the theme for January that I keep hearing from the quantum? It's maintain your frequency. Check in with your frequency. If you are hearing a lot in the first part of this month, these random little phrases of, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. Oh my gosh, I set all these intentions. Look at that, I'm already failing them. I'm already flopping. I'm not doing that thing that I said I was gonna be doing every day to take care of myself. Oh man, this is a joke. You know, here I go again, setting all these intentions. Maybe you call them goals or resolutions. I tend to call them intentions because those in quantum say that we are, intention is speedier than thought. So as soon as you set an intention, you've already got energy pouring into whatever that might be. So rather than saying, I've got a goal, I have to resolve myself to this, think of the word resolve. Doesn't that have a heavy feeling about it? So think when we set these resolving solutions or resolutions, we're putting ourselves in a state of, maybe I don't even know if I really want to do that, but I suppose I should be, correct? And shoulds, out the window with those, because you'll be talking yourselves out of those very fast. So instead, think intention. What are my intentions this year? How do I want to feel better about myself? How do I want to treat others? How do I want to take my career in a different direction, or take it fuller into the forward motion and all of this, okay? So this January here is watching those frequency states, checking in. Is that my thought? Did that thought just fly in from the collective? Maybe a lot of people are feeling this way. Why do I bother? What's the use? Well, this is a hopeless situation. I don't know. I just don't think this is going to probably happen this year. Maybe it'll happen down the road. You know, all that talk yourself out of the things that you really desire, correct? You know what those phrases are. So anyway, they were coming in really strongly in the first 3 to 4 days. I was shocked at how many people were already talking themselves out of their dreams, saying they couldn't do it. What if it wasn't going to happen? Maybe I shouldn't even try it, because what if I fail and I'm going to look like a joke? I might, maybe why did I share that with other people that I really wanted to do that? Because now I'm not doing it, and I look like I'm just a talker and not a doer, and I'm not taking any action, or I'm not even being in that. Because it's more about being in it, right? 90% or more, according to those in quantum, is the intention that we're setting. 10% is the action. Why can that be? How can that be? Because when you set the intention, what you're doing is you're sending this out to the universe. All of this energy can collect around it, not only from those that are here embodied, but those in spirit as well get behind you and say, yes, yes, go for it. And all of a sudden these doors start flying open, these phone calls start coming in, these messages start coming in. What do we need to do? We have to keep being available for it, being available, right? Because if you go sit in your room and stare at a screen and chit-chat this way every day, yeah, that might not be taking you forward, right? Because this is a barrier here. We need to connect, shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart, get out there and present ourselves and be available. Now you can be doing it very quietly. You could be doing it completely above the radar where people are saying, where is that person? What happened to that person? As long as you are continually sharing what it is that you have these intentions so strongly that you're not going to let yourself go. You're not going to decide that you have to give up, that you cannot be that determined, that your courage, that ended when you're 10. So then 2019, watch that again in January, catch your frequencies, watch to make sure if you are feeling that sense of it's not, what's the use? What if this never happens? What if I don't meet that man? What if this career doesn't give me the bonuses and the advantages that it said it would when it hired me? What if I take this trip and I get sick. Like all of this kind of language, right? Check it, check it, check it, spin it around on itself, go to the 180, turn it into, what if I go on that trip and I've never felt better in my life? What if I actually receive bigger bonuses than I expected? What if this man actually comes sauntering into my life next week? So just keep watching those thoughts, catch them, catch them, catch them, because every single time that you have a counter-intentional thought, it's kind of digging away at what you've already set as your intention. So while you may be thinking, oh, I've done all this to bring this into, let this be manifested in my life and let this be created in my life, and yet it just keeps falling away from me, your thoughts are probably throwing those little blocks in there and dissipating the energy around it to disallow the momentum, okay? So what's 2019 been full about? Okay, last year you can hear, let go, let go, let go, clear, let go, smash that thing out of your life, blast it out, because sometimes we have to get fierce about it and say, that is not gonna be in my life anymore. I refuse to believe that I cannot be safe. I refuse to believe that I don't deserve love. I refuse to believe that my children don't have a right to be in their innocence their whole life. I refuse to believe all this stuff, and instead, flipping that around and saying, of course I get to be safe, of course my children get to be safe, of course my pets get to be safe, of course this is a loving planet. And keep flipping that around, right? So 2019 then is about letting in, letting it all in. So that when you're thinking, gosh, I'm still putting a lot of intention and energy behind whatever it might be, whatever X that might be, then if it's getting blocked up or you're feeling it's not happening, catch it, catch that it's not happening, and flip it back to I'm letting it in now. Because how do we quantum leap things into our now? We have to let them in. We have to allow them in. That's what 2019 is about. So when you go back to the December 31st of 2019, check in with yourself. Did I let things in this year? Did I disallow things? Did I counter-intend things? Or did I say, of course, yes, of course I get to be happy. Of course I get to have a fulfilling career. Of course my purpose is active all the time, no matter where I am, even in my career. So there it is. Thank you so much for watching. If you feel like this could share, help somebody, please do share. This is Jeannie Blaha out of Colorado. Take a walk with your angels at joyflames.com. Much peace, much happiness, much joy, and reach out if you have any questions about any of your quantum leaps and the different areas that you're running into with it, all right? Peace.